Hello, I'm Sheila Blanco, Public Information Manager for Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools, and we're here for another district discussion. This time we're talking about something that is brand new. Our K-8, our new K-8 that is being built behind New Hampstead High School that is scheduled to open in the fall of this year to take in a whole lot of students. And joining me today to talk about this is Kay Akins. She is our Associate Superintendent of Elementary and K-8 schools. And this is Troy Brown, and he is going to be the principal of this new school. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Now, I want to make everyone aware before we start into this conversation, this is a new K-8 being built behind New Hampstead High School. So we have been referring to it all along as the New Hampstead K-8. However, it has not been officially named. The board is due to vote on a new name for the school next month. Could end up being New Hampstead K-8, but there are a couple of other names in consideration. But just so everyone knows, we may refer to it as New Hampstead K-8 during the conversation to make things easy, but it hasn't been officially named yet.
That is correct.
Now tell me, first of all, I think everyone's aware of the growth in Chatham County. Tell me how that, Western Chatham County specifically, tell me how that kind of drives the need for a new school in that area.
Okay, well, one of the examples that I can best describe right now is Godley Station School. You know, that's the school that I'm leaving as the principal. The growth there has been phenomenal. I mean, new houses, new apartments are currently being built. There's a new phase to Highland subdivision that's going in near the industrial park area out there. So last school year, we ended with almost 1,768 students in Godley Station. So the need for a new school to eliminate some of that overcapacity is a much need. That gave us a big indicator that we need a new school, obviously. And the growth, like I said, continues. And even in the New Hampstead area where the high school is, there's a projected 9,000 houses that may be built in that area. So looking at the trend data for the growth, looking at the transition data with people in and out of the Pooler area, all that information is put together to see where we need to, what moves we need to do to eliminate overcapacity at some schools.
Right. Well, I grew up in Florida where the population was growing so fast growing up that half the schools I went to, you had portable buildings that certain grades were out in. That's something to avoid, especially when you are building brand new, beautiful schools. You don't want a lot of portable buildings have to be outside to accommodate that type of growth. So having the opportunity to build a new school like this to alleviate overcrowding is a wonderful, wonderful thing. How many students is the new school projected to have?
Well, it's projected to have 1,500, but of course we don't want to fill that school. We need to leave room for growth. So the capacity is 1,500, but we don't expect to have 1,500 students there year one.
Well, let's hope not.
We certainly hope not.
Now, again, the growth is projected for the area based on current trends, but those houses, those new subdivisions, those new apartment complexes don't exist yet. So the thing that I know concerns a lot of families is the redistricting that's going to occur to bring students to this new school for now to alleviate overcrowding in Godley Station. And there are other schools who will have certain areas redistrict to bring their students in. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that process and how that is happening and how many students you do expect to have this fall when you start.
Well, we're very proud of the process that we have this year because there's a lot of input from a lot of stakeholders. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, we just sent out a survey to the parents that may be affected to get their feedback on how they feel about community schools, how they feel about students being on the bus. Do you want your student on the bus for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or longer? And we also will get input from all stakeholders, in addition to parents, just to talk about what they want and what they feel will be most conducive to all the growth that is happening in Chatham County, in the western area of Chatham County. We have some drive-up meetings that we will host for those that will not be able to attend in a Zoom sessions that we will have set up. Mm-hmm. So we're getting input from pretty much every stakeholder group that we could possibly think of to make sure that we do this right and just to make sure that the community understands that we're doing this we're trying to be proactive and not be reactive based on the growth in West Chatham area. I'll tell you that I've lived in Pooler for 17 years, and when I first moved to Pooler, and the way it looks today is totally different. We're overrun with restaurants and just every new business that you can think of. So we're really putting a lot of thought into what we're doing as far as the growth that's happening.
Well, in addition to relieving some of the overcrowding at Godley Station, what are the other schools in the West Chatham area that are likely to draw some students into this new K-8?
So it depends on what proposal you're looking at that the stakeholders proposed in the many meetings that we've had. So you're looking at maybe West Chatham Elementary, West Chatham Middle School, Bloomingdale, and Pooler. Because as you know, the school is kind of located in the Bloomingdale area, so it may pull some of the students from the higher end of Bloomingdale into the new school. It depends, again, what proposal that you're looking at. What we don't want to do is move students and then have to turn around and move them, again, a little later. And so if the Godley Station is the school that's most impacted, what you don't want to do is just take a few out of there, and then the growth in that area only adds that back to that school. So we're hoping that we can get as many out and do it right the first time in the rezoning. That's why the process is taking it the way as long as it has, and which we've been actively working on it. It's just that we want to make sure that every piece of information that we can consider is in that in all those proposals.
I know, I think as a parent, it would be really exciting to have your child go to a brand new school with brand new infrastructure and technology and everything. I mean, I think that would be really exciting, but some families have some concerns. They maybe have a student who is a fifth grader at a school where they've been going for a long time. All their friends are there. How is that addressed or handled in this planning process? Well,
in the planning process, we have mentioned grandfathering in for special cases, as you're mentioning. So that's one of the major things that we're very proud of, that we're considering every aspect and pretty much every family and every child, because I probably wouldn't want to leave a school that I've gone to for 5 years and just go to another one. So just the fact that we will give some special consideration in those specific cases if parents have those concerns.
And they would need to I mean, I know this is a process, hasn't been set up yet, but when the redistricting is set, which I think we're looking at sometime in April, correct?
Hopefully, yes.
If someone had that concern, they would need to contact the board or contact their school about a possible exception.
Absolutely. They can contact the principal, or they can contact the associate superintendent, and we'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay. New school, we just talked about brand new facility, infrastructure, everything. Tell us a little bit about what the school is going to offer to your students.
Well, it's going to offer me to begin with.
And he's wonderful.
Well, the thing is, I've proudly served the West Chatham County area, at Port Wentworth Elementary, Rice Creek, Godley Station, and West Chatham Middle School. So I know a lot of the community members out there, the parents and the family. So, and I say that jokingly, but I think that we're going to do everything we can to possibly, to make the transition the best for the students. We already have about 50 plus teachers and staff members hired that are currently working on helping with the new instructional materials, the up-to-date technology, and much more. They're also already meeting because their passion for children. They want to make sure that they were providing the best instructional programs. So they're already meeting and doing planning for next year. And so that's been great. They and several of those teachers are from the West Side too. So it should help the parents and the kids feel a little bit more at ease because they do know them and they know me. The other piece to it, we're going to offer art classes. Hopefully get some advanced content courses in. We have some great technology labs that are being built there. So we have a lot to offer. Plus, the great part of it is students leaving the K-8 model can then go next door to the high school, so it gives that continuity on the campus, same campus basically, if you will, because there's only a small little drive that's going to separate the two schools.
It really becomes a community, all the way through all the grades, like we're building in Garden City as well for the multi-school.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, that is wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the timeline. I know we just said that parents should know probably the redistricting, what their area is zoned for. Mid-April, the board, I assume, is going to vote on that at that time. Tell us a little bit about the rest of the timeline for getting this school up and ready and letting our parents know what they need to know about moving their students to this school.
Okay. So as soon as we do know the zoning and what children will be affected by that, we're certainly going to be sending out, school flyers, information to parents, making sure that their children are accurately registered at the school, and then what our course offerings will be, that will be sent out. But we will have various Zoom meetings or team meetings, basically, to go over that information with parents to tell them your child is assigned to this new school. And just do kind of like some virtual open houses, if you will, to get them acclimated to the school. We're certainly hoping that we'll have a website set up where they can go in and get information. They'll see pictures of the school, what an ideal classroom is going to look like, what the media center is going to look like. Whatever we can do to help them, feel like this is their new home, we're going to provide in as many services as we can.
Yeah, we're all anxiously awaiting the vote on the proposal. Once we get that, then we are full steam ahead on, getting the information out to the new students and to the parents, and also involving the principals of the other schools that may be impacted by the new school, and students perhaps going from their school to the new school, the new K-8 school in New Hampstead. It's hard not to say New Hampstead K-8.
So one of the things I'd like to add, though, is it's as the committee meets to determine the attendance zones, if you will, we've been very focused on what is going to be the least disruptive to students. What we don't want, again, is to make it such a problem for the parents. And so we're really looking at that. We're looking at their feedback on the surveys, like Mrs. Akins just talked about. We realize that everybody's not going to be happy with it, but you're going to a great new school with great new things, and we just want everybody to be happy. And we're trying to do it to be disrupt the least amount of students.
And when you involve the other principals, they're there to make those parents feel more comfortable, showing what their schools have to offer if their children end up going to some of the other schools that perhaps is not the new K-8.
So with the redistricting, it may not just be students pulled from the other schools into this new K-8. The redistricting may result in students who go to Godley Station going to another school, or West Chatham going to another school. It could affect attendance at all the schools in that area.
Yes, but we're going to try to make that as least disruptive as possible. But that is the possibility, so we want to be transparent that could possibly happen.
Okay. I know you talked about you have a couple of meetings coming up in late March, mid to late March. Tell us a little bit about those meetings. We will also put the information up on the screen, and obviously we're going to be sending that information out to parents as well. But tell us about these meetings, what parents can learn there, and what's happening at those meetings.
So the plan is to have brochures that we pass out as the cars drive up, so they can kind of get a little overview of what's supposed to happen at the new school in New Hampstead. I'm just going to call it New Hampstead K-8. And then they will also have the opportunity to have a note card. So after we do our presentation and tell them, tell our story, if they have additional questions, they'll write their questions, and we'll have runners that will go and get the cards, and then we will ask the question. That way everyone could hear the answer. We're planning on using the FM system. A lot of people are using that now during COVID. So that's what that is really all about, so just to allow those stakeholders to ask those specific questions that they want answered. And of course, usually more than one person has that same question, so we'll be answering those questions there.
Wonderful. And tell us the dates again that these are happening, and I believe you said one was virtual and one's the drive-up.
Well, actually, on March the 15th, we'll have a Zoom opportunity and a drive-up opportunity.
Okay.
The Zoom opportunity will be earlier in the day, and the drive-up will start at 5:30.
Okay.
And that's on both days.
That should work around people's schedules, and the
Correct.
midday might be hard for them to get away from home or get away from work. So the Zoom is a great opportunity, and then the drive up in the evening when folks might be out of work and able to come see it. And it's going to be held in the New Hampstead parking lot, isn't it?
That's correct.
The New Hampstead High School parking lot, but back behind where they can see this great new building going up.
Absolutely.
I was just out there a couple of weeks ago. It looks absolutely beautiful. I didn't realize it was that far along till I drove up. It was, wow, very impressed.
Yeah, so was
I
I. Dr. Brown has actually done a walkthrough. I've done a drive-by. So I like what I saw, and he definitely liked what he saw.
Yeah, I'm amazed. It's going to be a beautiful site. They keep calling between the two wings a courtyard, but it looks like this beautiful city park where it's going to have like playground areas, seating areas, plant boxes and stuff. It's amazing. It's just it's big, but it's going to be nice. It's set up well for kindergarten through 8th grade students, and I think that everybody is going to enjoy it once it's open.
Well, it's really, really exciting. I think that is all the questions I have for you, unless there's something we haven't discussed that you think it's really important for our families to know.
Well, just know that we are very, very excited. We are just over the moon, ecstatic about the fact that we're able to assist with all the growth that's happening in the West Chatham area, and we have a very nice and eloquent K-8 school for our students and for our parents to enjoy. So we're very excited.
Wonderful.
And I'd like to add, if anybody has any questions, they feel free to email me at troy.brown@sccpss.com. And we look forward to welcoming you to our new school and much success at the new school.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us today. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to getting lots of information out to our families in the coming weeks about the new K-8 behind New Hampstead K-8, whatever.
I know, right?
We will know the official name next month.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
we will.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.